It's Good News Show with Marc Clarke. I'm really excited about this episode because it features one of my favorite artists of all time, Mumu Fresh. Maimouna Youssef joins us on the Good News Show. Coming up next.
Special man DJ Tons.
Hi, I'm D-Rose.
I'm Anthony Jenkins.
Your boy Nutskola.
This is Senator Hayes, and you're watching the Good News Show with Marc Clarke.
Good News Show is Marc Clarke. Today we celebrate Care First. We're actually at an event they're doing. And welcome to the Good News Show. It is the CIAA weekend. Special guest today, when I was on the radio on the Big Fat Morning Show, she was the queen of Baltimore Club. Paula Campbell, you are one of my favorites. How you doing?
You're one of my favorites too.
Some old skeletons in the audience.
Thanks for being discreet about it.
I was raised by OGs who lived by the creed, who told me count my money where no one could see. And if you didn't count it twice, and you ain't counted right. And if you gotta do dirt, don't bring it home at night. Don't where you eat, don't do business where you sleep. Don't run your mouth about things that don't concern you and your peeps. Good grief, you always gotta weed out the creeps. I better known the best way to get rid of a thief. Nothing in life is free. Oh, everything costs something, whether your mind or your time or your loving. Then they inquiring about how bad you want it. Always know how far you willing to go. Don't gain the whole world just to lose your soul.
Good News Show with Marc Clarke. My special guest, Mumu Fresh. That was you on Sway in the Morning, the jam session. Batiste on the keyboards. It was amazing.
So many great artists, Sam.
So many great artists, but there you were. Spontaneous singing and rapping.
Yeah.
You got bars. You got chord changes. I mean, this is such a Wombworks thing. Now, you know, I've known you since the Wombworks. So for those who don't know, tell people about Wombworks in Baltimore.
Yeah, Wombworks is a theater company that my mom and my aunt started when we was kids. First it started as the East Baltimore Violence Prevention Theater Company, and then it became Wombworks and New World Art Ensemble. But we started off doing street theater, you know, performing on the blocks of Monument Street and to try and bring awareness to the drug epidemic, to violence, domestic violence, community violence, and create some therapeutic alternatives and some healing for our people.
And so, Mumu, I met you back then. You were 16, 17 years old. You know, a Big Fat Morning Show came to town. I got familiar with your family. I got a chance to see you. We shared similar friends.
Yeah.
So on your rise, you know, that teenage you, I had a friend who was close to you. You've always had men who had eyes on you from an early age, right?
Okay.
And so as you got into the entertainment industry, right, you had guys watching you, you have a family. I'm mentioning this because you always had I thought an interesting dynamic. On one side, you have the woke. Another side,
woke.
Right, you got a relationship with the streets too.
Yeah.
Right? And so
they're not too far apart, honestly.
Kind of the same.
They people that got knowledge of self for sure, but they also they carry them things.
And so as a girl who had that, you know,
the balance.
The balance, right. In an industry that can be tough.
Yeah.
And sometimes people get out of pocket. You had people, if they got out of pocket, get slapped back in the pocket if need be. But how do you balance that out? You know, my wife had an amazing father. And one dynamic that doesn't get talked about is she had the kind of father that if somebody did something wrong, she knew he was going to handle it.
Yeah.
And handle it. And so it kind of created a weird dynamic in that some things happened and she let slide because she knew Dad was going to take it there.
There we go.
So talk to us about that, because we don't really, that doesn't get talked about. A lot of times we talk about Dad not being there, but when you have a dad that's going to protect you, that also can be kind of...
Well, my dad and my mom, I'm not, you know, my mom, she don't play about that either. I definitely have some stories in my upcoming book about her running up into places with her tomahawk. But so both of them...
Not tomahawk.
No, really.
I know.
And also I'll say too, like the definition of woke now is very different than what it meant in the 80s and 90s. Like woke was something that people, you know, from the Black conscious community who were like, you know, it could be the Black Panthers or the Maulana Karanga's folks or the Hebrew Israelites or the Nation of Islam or the Sunni Muslim, like they were all kind of like a part of the same culture. Like
Yes.
woke means something different. Like
That's a good point.
elite, kind of like liberal elitist, middle class. I don't even know what it is
That's a
now.
good
Like
point.
I hear people saying many different, and I'm like, that's not what I know it to mean. You know?
Right.
So it's been like extrapolated, like exported out of the communities it came from, and I don't know what it means now.
And I mean it. I definitely meant the old school
The
way
old
for
school
you.
way, yeah. We
It basically, right.
Like that version of
Right.
it.
And
So they were kind of like connected though. Like a lot of
Yes.
those people, they was gangsters. You know what I mean? They, you know. So I think coming up in the industry, there were a lot of things. I remember artists asking me to. We were coming to Baltimore. I was singing with them on tour. And they asked me, how come we come to Baltimore, you don't invite your family out? I was like, they gonna rob you. He's like, he thought I was joking. I was like, no, it's some I can invite out, but some I can't invite out. And I'm doing you a favor.
You just calm it down.
Just take that.
And I know we're not going to get into the stories, but I also know that there's been situations where men haven't necessarily acted like they needed to act.
Yeah.
And you had to balance that out.
Yeah, they got,
right?
and some things is like you said, there's some things you got to decide if you're going to talk about it or not, if you're going to bring it home, because, you don't know how far your family's going to go, with the retribution. Sometimes you got to deal with things on your own. But definitely I feel like there's always been a level of respect for me in the music industry. One, by how I carry myself, but also like they know where I come from. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, especially early in the days when my parents were really involved, my parents was managing me and things like that. There was always a sense of like, not that one. You don't want to bother that one.
And so for those who don't know, Mumu, you basically have for a long time been, they say, the favorite rapper's favorite rapper and singer. When you came out, a lot of people said she's the next Lauryn Hill. I mean, you played with the Roots, Black Thought named you, Common, Robert Glasper. That whole group of artists, in a sense, the neo soul, the new young movement, or whatever, you're in that mix. Yeah. And, you killed the 5 Fingers of Death on Sway in the Morning so many times. And also on stage, live performance, you actually have now, they said you were the next deal, next Lauryn Hill, the next deal, this and that. You actually perform with these people. How did that feel when you perform with a Lauryn Hill, we perform with a Jill Scott, or Erykah Badu?
Well, my first time being on stage, I didn't perform with her, but I opened basically. I performed with Dead Prez on the Dave Chappelle Block Party.
Yeah. And
so the Fugees' first reunion happened at the Dave Chappelle Block Party.
Yeah.
So when I was actually have a story that I wrote about in my book, but I talk about like I wasn't actually slated to perform at the Block Party. I kind of like snuck in because I wanted to meet Lauryn Hill, and I wanted to, because she wasn't making music anymore, and she was really like the only representation girls like me had. Like my mom didn't really allow us to listen to a lot of other women rappers because of the kind of lewd nature, the music and the dress was provocative. We grew up Muslim, so I couldn't really listen to that. Like I could listen to Lauryn Hill because she was like Islamic adjacent, she could throw out some, don't forget about the Deen and Sadat the Mustaqim. And so she was like really the only representation we had as like, young girls growing up with knowledge of self. And so when she stopped making music, I was like, she can't stop. Like she's, she all we got. And so my plan was that I was going to sneak into the Dave Chappelle Block Party to tell her that she can't stop and she has to continue because girls like us won't have nobody, And in that process, I ended up performing on the Block Party, So that was definitely like a moment that changed my life. But when I was leaving off, I kind of cornered her coming out of the bathroom. It doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. But I told her, like, I love you and you mean so much to us. And you can't stop. You have to continue doing what you came here to do. You're not done yet, This is, I don't know, 2003 or 4 or something like that. And so later on, I would open for her. I think we did Red Rocks Amphitheater and Black Girls Rock and, some other thing. I don't even know if she knows I was the same young girl, who cornered her outside the bathroom. Yeah, but that was like really important to me. But I've become good friends with, Jill Scott. She had me on her podcast. And a lot of artists that I grew up, listening to. I remember the first time my mother's students from Rites of Passage brought home the On and On tape. You know, and I
Yes.
saw that she had on a gele. I had never seen nobody else in the industry. And I said, she dresses like us. I was like, where's she from? You know? And back then I couldn't, you know, I didn't have a way of knowing any information about her,
Yeah.
right? I couldn't go Google, like, who is she? But I was just thinking like, oh, she must be like us. Cause that's how, you know, I've always seen my mother dress like that.
Yeah.
And all the women in my community. And so, yeah, so it just was really interesting to see somebody in the industry that was like, you know, that she looks like us and she's, yeah.
I love it. It's funny because I remember my friend was in seminary at the time. And when Baduism came out, she was like, brother, tell me about this Baduism. I was like, well, it's not a religion. It's kind of her album name.
Yeah.
But coming up, speaking of album, on a brand new single that's hot. It's you. It's another legend. And you guys are back in a big way. And also, we're going to talk about the industry and being a woman in the industry coming up on the Good News Show
Nice.
with Marc Clarke.
We call this an all-around the town edition.
Hey, how you all doing? It's Marcus Johnson.
Tommy Davidson is in. I made it.
Hey, this is LaRon Finney. If you know what I know, you got to watch the Good News Show.
Hi, my name is Jay Wendell Gordon, the Warrior Lawyer. I have an office downtown Baltimore City. I practice in the area of criminal defense, personal injury, civil rights, and medical malpractice. If you need a good attorney, get Gordon on the phone. Thank you.
This one is for you, Mom. Secure your family's tickets to a Mother's Day celebration with John P. King, the phenomenal Kim Burrell, Anthony Brown and Group Therapy, the legendary Eddie LaVerge, the Group Fire, Jokia, and Maurette Brown Clark. Saturday, May 9th, 7 p.m. at Care First Arena. Tickets at Ticketmaster. Powered by Events DC and media partner Sheen Magazine.
Hi, I'm Kristen Jutter of Jutter Promotions. If you'd like to come out and see an amazing night of boxing here in Baltimore City, see Scooter Davis in action, you can go to the website jetterpromotionsboxing.com and get your tickets. It'll be an exciting night you don't want to miss.
We call this an all-around the town edition.
Hey, how you all doing? It's Marcus Johnson.
Tommy Davidson is in. I made it.
Hey, this is LaRon Finney. If you know what I know, you got to watch the Good News Show.
Bam!
Cause I'm so smooth. Shit crazy.
I'm so high, so high, so high, I can't come down. So I'm so high, so high, so high, I can't come down.
On top of the globe, angel on top of the rose. The presidential copped it in gold. Stop and behold the flies. You can bet it's only bums that's biased. Best believe I'm under some sun with the itis. One of the nicest. Sugar Hill still real, no vices. Bigger bills, lips sealed in his likeness to God. Heaven or hell, a destiny tell. You in the cut, sizing me up, just measure me well. Satin lapel, black patent leather Chanel's, double-breasted, as if I etched it, finessing it well. I made it, upgraded. Street slang can never be jaded. Mention me, speak my name with your favorites. Elated, I lasted. Any perpetrating, push past it. Chasing paper, I'm a part of the classics. They listen. If faced with any major decisions, just know I'm straight and pray I'm forgiven.
I'm so high, so high, so high, I can't come down. So I'm so high, so high, so high, I can't come down.
4 hedge funds, 3 net sags, 2 left legs. It's less sad when you left for dead. Let it spread, be a boss.
All right, So High, AZ featuring Mumu Fresh, Maimouna Youssef in the building. What a great looking video.
I love it. It came out amazing.
It looks amazing. AZ looks amazing. You look amazing, of course. Sound amazing. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, I mean, it was an honor to really, and people already picking up on it. It's like the 2026 version of Sugar Hill, you know? So like even trying to embody that kind of iconic energy from that time period was like, you know, it's a delicate balance for something to sound nostalgic without sounding dated.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think we really like
Y'all did it.
that. Yeah. And it feels good, especially during a time when it's so much going on in the world that can like make you feel horrible.
Yeah.
You know, you go
Yeah.
wake up every day. Yeah. And so I think this is one of those songs that can lift the spirit no matter what you're going through or how you're feeling. Like you can conjure that spirit of like, I'm feeling great. I'm blessed. You know what I mean? I'm thankful. All these days I prayed for, you know.
Perfect.
That we still have so much to be grateful for, even in the midst of whatever we're going through, the economy, the wars, the president, all this wild stuff is like, I just love it. The vibration of the song, it just feels like gratitude. It feels like, you know, perseverance. It feels like success. You know, it feels like blessings unfolding. Like, I just feel like that's such a important vibration to hold on to, especially in this time, you know.
And the vocals are flawless as always.
Thank
You look
you so
amazing.
much.
You guys, I can't wait. I know people want to see that live.
Yeah.
I know you're going to be doing some stuff together.
We
Gotta be.
definitely are.
Yeah.
We definitely are. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that too. Yeah, there's a lot more to come. You know, this is our second song together too. So he messaged me like, you know, we got good chemistry in the booth. Like, you know, let's cut something else. So yeah, I'm grateful that he trusted me with it. You know, like it was, like I said, it's such an iconic song. And for his comeback and his partnership with Mass Appeal.
Mm-hmm.
So even just seeing like Nas and him together, like we had a dinner the other night in New York and it was like really amazing, right? It's, you know, Primo, Busta came through and it's just like maybe only 40 people just, you know, sitting at the table, meeting the minds, the brothers from Earn Your Leisure and just kind of talking about what it means, even for like legends from that time period, approaching music differently, you know what I'm saying? The longevity, like whoever thought that hip hop would take it this far, right? So the longevity that our like heroes are able to have now. And then it's also like, you know, if you survive this business long enough, you get to renegotiate the terms, you know? And so now artists are able to have success on their terms, you know, so that their residuals are feeding their grandchildren, not just, you know, the grandchildren of these, you know, these companies.
Well, and shout out to you. Shout out to you because you basically have had control. You paid your way. You did your thing. You own. Ownership's important to you.
Yeah.
When did you make that decision? Because you've really done that.
I think that was always my thought. And I really feel like my mother always said it to me, like, make sure you own your intellectual property. Since I was small, like my very first record, you know, I paid for the studio time. You know what I'm saying? I wrote the songs. You know, I pressed up the t-shirts, I pressed up the CDs. You know, we was hustling.
I have one of those t-shirts, by the way.
You do?
Yes,
Oh my God.
Yes. What was the name of the group?
Serious B.
Serious B. I remember outside, you guys did the thing outside the event. I have the t-shirt.
Built the website. Like I was on that stuff as a teenager, like, all right, this is what we got to do. And especially because I mean, I don't believe in waiting on people to, you know, it's like, it's go time. Like, let's get this done now. Like we are capable. A lot of artists give away their power, you know, and a lot of times they give away their ownership and their creativity. They give away their control, mainly because they don't want to learn how the business works. You know, sometimes it's a bit of laziness of like, hey, you should know how your distribution works. Hey, you actually need to read the contract yourself. You know, and if you don't understand it, you need to go line by line with a lawyer until you do understand it. Like you cannot be in the passenger's seat of your own career.
Come on now, preach now.
You know, and so, yeah, so I've always felt like that. Like I remember being in meetings in the early days and they'll be, you know, having meetings about me like I'm, you know, the artist is always the product. I never enjoyed that the artist is a product, you know? And so they will have conversations with you in the room in third person, like you're like a vacuum cleaner or something. And I would ask the tough questions and, you know, they would kind of laugh like, this young girl, you know, who are you asking those questions to? And I'm like, it sounds like a important question to me. I think I need to know this. Like I need an itemized list of, you know, what's being spent on my behalf and what's, you know, those kind of questions, they can get you blackballed almost if you're asking those kind of questions too soon. But as a student, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm a real student, you know, I'm like fourth in my class, and that's what getting a 0 for my 9th grade year because I was homeschooled.
Oh, wait a minute.
But I'm like one of those, I'm super studious. I want to read everything. I want to know everything. And so certain things just wasn't adding up about, well, how come artists can't? And what are you saying? Well, what's the reason for that? And why do I not own what's mine? Can you explain that to me? So I've always kind of just not understood that. And I felt like it wasn't correct. And so I teach other artists, how to do this.
Yes.
And making sure that you're actually independent because these labels are very, very tricky. They're sneaky, right? You need to make sure that you're independent, not your label. Because your label can be independent without you being independent.
Come on now, Teach. Now, this is coming from a professor now. This is Professor.
I'm Professor Fresh.
No, seriously. And you are
I've taught at NYU. I've taught at Berkeley.
Yes.
I have Emory. I have.
That's what I'm saying. And also talk to us about your book. Talk to us about your book. When's it coming out? You got to come back and talk to us about it.
Yeah, it's coming out in November this year. But it is a book that I call it a spiritual self-help book for artists. It is in the style of memoir, and it's a dramatic comedy.
Okay.
Because I love to laugh. But I think it's a roadmap for artists, not just in the business, but in your spirit. Like if you get to where you always envision yourself or we're working towards, if you get to your goal, but your mind and your spirit and your body is not intact, then you didn't win, right? You only win when you get there with your whole mind, body, spirit intact, when you are dealing with yourself as a holistic being, or else the win won't feel like a win. And I find that so often with artists, they get to where they wanted to get to, and it's like, it sucks. And then you get depressed and it can take a whole different turn for you. So I really started working on what does it look like to have, as Iyanla Vanzant says, spiritual hygiene. She talks about that a lot for artists. Like, what does that look like? So that's what made me start writing the book, especially women. So many women along the road would ask me, like, how are you doing this? Even just how, I had my son on the road with me for a long time. Like, how are you homeschooling on tour? And how are you booking your own shows? And things that I just was figuring out. And I didn't know that it was as rare as it was, So as I started figuring things out, I just started documenting what I was doing and how I was doing it. So if I go to a city and, to do a gig, like I had to go to London for like a month to do some shows, and I brought my son out there with me. And so he was maybe 8 years old. So I had to look up what are the things that he needs to know, the markers he has to hit in this grade. And now where the experiences that I can involve him in that'll have him gain this kind of information. It's something they call unschooling now. And so I'll make sure we're going to all of the major museums and, all over London. We're going to the biggest toy store in the world. We're going to lectures. And so I'm planning that stuff around my concerts so that he's getting what he needs, for his mind, and he's having the experience of travel. I always feel like it's so important, especially for Black boys, to travel the world. It builds a confidence in a different way, I think everybody should travel, but because I'm the mother of a Black boy, I see the difference in him and some of his friends when you travel young, Well,
look, Mumu Fresh, Maimuna Youssef, This is why I love her so much. You can't help but fall in love with her. I mean, listen to this. And I have 3 daughters. And, I always hope that they'd be like you, and they are. Thank you for gracing us. Keep up the great work.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. She is when I hit you on social media, Mumu gonna hit me back just like that. You're trying. I'm the worst at that, but you're always on top of it.
I
appreciate that. I appreciate that. Again, so how can people follow you as we wrap up?
Yeah, so you can follow me on social media at Mumu Fresh, MUMU Fresh. Follow me on my website, Mumu Fresh. I have a lot of things going on this year. We are going to be touring this year. But also, I have a nonprofit. So we teach sustainable living, home building, agroforestry, all types of things. That's my other life.
Yes.
So you can find out about how you can be involved in that. My book comes out at the end of the year. And MUMU Fresh on all platforms, YouTube, everything.
Mumu Fresh joining us on the Good News Show with Marc Clarke. See you next week.
We call this an all-around-the-town edition.
Hey, how you all doing? It's Marcus Johnson.
Tommy Davidson is in. I made it.
Hey, this is LaRon Finney. If you know what I know, you got to watch the Good News Show.
Hi, My name is Jay Wendell Gordon, the Warrior Lawyer. I have an office downtown Baltimore City. I practice in the area of criminal defense, personal injury, civil rights, and medical malpractice. If you need a good attorney, get Gordon on the phone. Thank you.
This one is for you, Mom. Secure your family's tickets to a Mother's Day celebration with John P. King, the phenomenal Kim Burrell, Anthony Brown in group therapy, you thought I was worth saving, the legendary Eddie LaVerge, the group Fire, Jokia, and Marette Brown Clarke. Saturday, May 9th, 7 p.m. at Care First Arena. Tickets at Ticketmaster. Powered by Events DC and media partner Sheen Magazine.
Hi, I'm Kristen Jutter of Jutter Promotions. If you'd like to come out and see an amazing night of boxing here in Baltimore City, see Scooter Davis in action, you can go to the website www.jetterpromotionsboxing.com and get your tickets. It'll be an exciting night you don't want to miss.
We call this an all-around-the-town edition.
Hey, how you all doing? It's Marcus Johnson.
Tommy Davidson is in. I made it.
Hey, this is LaRon Finney. If you know what I know, you got to watch the Good News Show. Bam!
Hey, what's up? It's your man, Marc Clarke. Thank you for supporting the Good News Show. And guess what? I got something special for you. Me and Allison are celebrating our 60th birthday party. That's right, our 60th birthday is going down. Go to my Instagram page, The Marc Clarke Show, and you can actually get your tickets there. Do that and support the Good News Show with Marc Clarke.
Welcome to reality. I tried to wake you, but you were sleeping so peacefully in your fallacy. Quite casually, I got 7 uncolonized names to explain my gallantry. I'm a galaxy, but for short, you can call me your majesty. Some of y'all new blacks act so surprised. So 2020 took all them cataracts off your eyes. Now you got perfect vision, see clearly through the disguise. No need for pantomimes or alibis. The revolution is televised. This the year of discernment. Popping off, we burn it. You gon' pay everything you owe. The Lil Riley said, cause I earned it. Perm tips with the new growth. Breaking out of that loose hole with the truth glow. Shining like new money, I got the juice, ho, so you gon' have to pick sides or divide up into tribes, not by skin but by your mind. Is you Satan or divine? What's your ideology? Either change your behavior or save your apology. I spit it like I got to get it, I'm gone. I rip it like Rami right off of the bone. Pull up on your mama and grandma alone. Let you know what type of F that I'm on. Mind blown, 5 in the moon. Lost in a rabbit hole, can't come home. Found out that everything you was ever taught, everything you thought real was wrong.
Hi, my name is Jay Wendell Gordon, the Warrior Lawyer. I have an office downtown Baltimore City. I practice in the area of criminal defense, personal injury, civil rights, and medical malpractice. If you need a good attorney, get Gordon on the phone.
It's your man, DJ Tons.
Hi, I'm D Rose. I'm Anthony Jenkins.
Your boy Nuscola.
This is Senator Hayes, and you're watching the Good News Show with Marc Clarke.
The show is Marc Clarke. Today we celebrate Care First. We're actually at an event they're doing. And welcome to the Good News Show. It is the CIAA weekend. Special guest today. When I was on the radio on the Big Fat Morning Show, she was the queen of Baltimore club. Paula Campbell, you are one of my favorites. How you doing?
You're one of my favorites too.
Some old skeletons in the audience.
Thanks for being discreet about it.
Hey, welcome to the Good News Show, a very special edition of the Good News Show. Why? Because my beautiful wife is here. A Renaissance woman. She is, she's a mother. She's an author. Monique Samuels joins us on the Good News Show. We call this an all-around-the-town edition.
Hey, how you all doing? It's Marcus Johnson.
Tommy Davidson is in. I made it.
Hey, this is LaRon Finney. If you know what I know, you got to watch the Good News Show.